So, Left of the Dial Records actually began in November of 2010 in Seal Beach, moved to Santa Ana around 2012, I believe. I bought it in June of 2017, and coming up in a couple of weeks, 5 years that I have run this store. I've moved it from downtown Santa Ana into beautiful uptown Orange, just minutes from Chapman University. Stay in school, kids.
So my name is Mara Heredia, and I am the social media marketing manager here at Puerto Son Records. I also run the website, basically anything having to do with the online stuff I do.
My name is Josh. I'm just a sales representative. You know, I price records, I sell records, I help people set up these receivers and turntables so that when they get home they know how to use them correctly. And that's pretty much it. Just, you know, play DJ all day long, essentially by myself.
Oh my, what is the biggest misconception of what goes on at record store? Just a second, I want to take a quick hit off my bong. So I think there's a feeling that if you have a record store, you're sort of a 70s stoner, bong carrying member, ex-skateboarder. Not so much.
Is cost. We get a lot of comments asking, you know, why is something $59.99 and Rough Trade has it up for $49.99, et cetera, et cetera. Here at Puerto Son, we get everything direct from either labels or distros. So we actually are paying a pretty close to fair price. All of our records are sealed, brand new. No one's ever played this. So you're paying a little bit more for these.
Is that all we do is sit behind the desk and listen to music all day long. There's a lot going on as far as pricing and cleaning and making sure that what we're selling as far as our used section is quality stuff. We're a really small store, and when you're a small space like this, what you have on the shelves means a lot to everybody that comes in your store. So we really pay close attention to what we price and how we price it.
The hardest thing about owning a record store. Twice a year there's something called Record Store Day, and every year they do it's the third Saturday in April, so it was recent here, about April 23rd, I think. We opened at 6 in the morning, we had hundreds of people in line, and probably 40% of them were there to get one little 7-hit single from Taylor Swift. Well, I had all of 5 of them. So it's a lot of disappointments. It's a lot of phone calls of, oh, do you have the new Smashing Pumpkins box set? No, sorry, click. So maybe 1 out of 10 times do I actually have what people called to get. And that feels bad.
It's definitely, you know, not being broke because you buy a ton of vinyl. But the other thing too is I think a lot of people come into a record store and they have like these expectations of what like the employees have to be like, or you know, they do believe we're an open encyclopedia of music. You know, you look at like High Fidelity, and Cusack is like this musical genius who knows every single song ever, but within our genres we're pretty good, but there's still so much out there.
The hardest thing about working at a record shop is dealing with people haggling. We try and price everything super fair, but there's always people that want to just, you know, come in and say, oh, I saw this somewhere else for a lot cheaper. And it's, you know, it's a constant.
Whoa, the benefit of working here that not a lot of people know about. Well, I would say if you look around here, that it's not like I go to dinner with all these folks or hang out with them or they have me over later, but it has been meeting people with a common interest. And to be honest, one of the greatest moments for me is in the afternoons when I look around and I see there's nobody in line to buy, but there's 20 people, and some of them are going, do you know this pressing? What do you think of that? And there's that common bond, but we all have the love of one thing, and it's these vinyl records that it's the comfort food for your ears. There, you can use that. Quote me on this. It's a new term. I'm sure everyone's going to steal it now. Oh, it's Bill, the comfort food record guy. But that's really what it is.
Well, first and foremost, if you've ever walked through Puerto Son and you know that there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of records, and that means so many bands. So working at a record store really kind of surrounds you in new music. Like every week you hear something new, or you're looking at a new record. By working here, you're gonna run into new cool stuff. And we do get a little bit of a discount, so that counts a little too. So ultimately you can end up with a lot of records and a lot of music and knowledge. So, you know, it's good for trivia.
I mean, number one, obviously, is you get to see a lot of music come through and you get that sweet little discount. So you end up giving a lot of your paycheck back to your employer, but you get to expose yourself to a lot of new music that you probably wouldn't have listened to if you weren't actually working at a record store.
The best seller. I would say 70s rock pays the bills is what I always tell people. It is the largest section. So let's say I have, say 20 bins in the store. Let's say 13 of them are basically rock or classic rock.
Okay, so bestseller. Puerto Sound, probably hip hop, honestly. We saw a ton of Kanye and Frank Ocean, Mac Miller, MF Doom, you know, Mad Villani. All those are like some of our best sellers.
Our best seller recently, we had a record store day this month, earlier this month, and Taylor Swift released a 7-inch album called Lakes, and we had 13 through 20-something-year-olds lined up at 11 p.m. the night before waiting for that album to drop. So that was definitely our best seller recently.
What do people do when they come into record stores that I don't care for? Hate's a very strong word. I hate it when people leave the records pushed forward. So the bins are all angled and the records are to lean back so you can flip through them. I think what people do is maybe it helps them remember that they've been to that bin and they'll throw them all forward. It's like, well, no, then the next guy can't come in and easily flip through them.
Okay, so what not to do at a record store? Definitely one of the biggest ones is people are like super not careful with the drawers. As you can see, we have drawers that come in and out. And a lot of times people just like throw the record in, like, you know, and then slam it. And then the record gets all messed up. And I'm just like, don't do that. Like, it takes a second to, like, you know, put it in correctly or whatever. The other thing is like banging the corners and stuff. Coming up to the register and being like, hey, do you know what like this song is? It goes like dun 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 dun, and I'm just like, no, can you like, no, what, no. So just little stuff like that. Sometimes customers will come in and be upset that like, you know, something's on our Instagram and it's not in store. I'm like, bro, that post is from 2015. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be in. It's been, you know, how many years? But most of the time, everyone's super cool. A record store is one of the few places where you're not gonna run into like, you know, dill heads. They're like, everyone's chill. We're all music nerds. We're all spending too much money on vinyl. We all have that like going for each other. So it's a really chill workspace.
Probably maybe like call on the phone. It's really annoying when somebody has a list of about a dozen records they're looking for and they just want me to be their personal shopper for them. It's much more fun to come in the store and actually look around for yourself. You might find something you didn't know you were looking for, whereas just calling me on the phone and having me look around the shop, it's not so much fun.
At the end of the day, what puts a smile on my face? Many days pass by and I look up and all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock and I've had a lunch of cashews, red vines, and M&Ms with a side of Starbursts on a good day. I guess every day, actually, I leave with a smile because at least one situation occurs. Maybe it's someone who brought records in, and no matter how good a day is, the next day has a chance to be better in many ways. So yeah, it's I don't even measure them anymore. I really don't.
honestly, watching people come in and find something that they've been looking for or that they really love is super fulfilling. A lot of times we as employees will recommend stuff, or something that's playing on the speakers will, they'll ask us, who is this? And it's a nice feeling to turn someone on to something and they absolutely love it, to the point where they're spending their hard-earned cash on it. So that's always super nice, and it's kind of like, oh, it's nice.
At the end of the day, what puts a smile on my face, it's definitely just having somebody super excited to go home and listen to an album. And then, maybe that next day they'll come back and tell me how amazing it was and how they dived into the entire discography of that artist, and now they're super into jazz, they're super into blues, and it's just a lot of fun exposing people to music.
I'd love to sincerely thank Josh for the opportunity to do this. It's fun for me. I hope he benefits from it. And it's a joy to be able to do these kind of things, and it's a little part of giving back, and I'm a big believer, and clearly this is quality work. Out.
Yeah, so that was super fun. Thank you for interviewing Puerto Son Records. We're Costa Mesa, open all dang day. Come by, shop for vinyl, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. It's fun. And yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
My name's Josh. I'm here most days of the week. If not, my boss's name's Alex. He's here other days of the week, and my buddy Andrew's here on weekends. And come down and just listen to some cool music.
It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. It's a shame the way you hurt me. It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. I'm sitting all alone by the telephone.